pins and needles pierce my skin. Time keeps slipping, won't begin.
Shadows whisper, holding me in.
Faith like a flame, I hold it tight, waiting for wings to take this flight. Waiting on the call, waiting for the sound to lift us up, to leave this ground. Freedom's a bird, it circles high. One day we'll soar, one day we'll fly. Hatred's a storm, it floods the land.
We build our ark with trembling hands.
Hope's the timber, it still stands. Eyes to the sky, hearts open wide. A better tomorrow's on the other side. Waiting on the call, waiting for the sound to lift us up, to leave this ground. Freedom's a bird, it circles high. One day we'll soar, one day we'll fly. Waiting on the call, waiting for the sound to lift us up, to leave this ground. Freedom's a bird, it circles high. One day we'll soar, one day we'll fly. One day we'll fly.
Another day has arrived, and we are still in the same place of disarray. Hope is in the distance. I can see a tiny glimpse of light, just a tiny, tiny light. It is there, I know it. I can feel it in my heart. I have prayed for it for oh so long. I know that it is coming our way. Tomorrow may not arrive, yesterday has gone, but this I know: today is gonna turn out just right. Colonel Chris is a ray of sunshine. He has arrived just in time to keep that tiny light in the horizon still burning bright. Our prayers are being answered, so don't despair. Someone we can trust, which has been a long time coming when our hopes were shattered. He is that tiny bright light in the distance. Tomorrow may not arrive, I can feel it in my heart. I have prayed for it for oh so long. I know that it is coming our way. Tomorrow may not arrive, yesterday has gone, but this I know, today is gonna turn out just right. Colonel Chris is a ray of sunshine. He has arrived just in time to keep that tiny light in the horizon still burning bright. Our Colonel Chris is a ray of sunshine. He has arrived just in time to keep that tiny light in the horizon still burning bright. Our prayers are being answered, so don't despair. Someone we can trust, which has been a long time coming when our hopes were shattered. He is that tiny bright light in the distance.
Welcome back, folks. It is Sunday night, the 10th of August, 2025. This is Chris live in central Pennsylvania. Hope you're all doing well. And for the Neanderthals, canines, right-wing podcasters, and all those car guards, as well as the hate wankers, the detractors, the shameful people, well, welcome to all of you. Equally welcome to everybody. Good to see you again. Congratulations to Bolon, who rolled over the Lions today. It's early days, but Cavaliers are in third place. Can you believe that? Wow, exciting stuff. Cheetahs in second place, and the Pumas up in first place. The whole thing is upside down, the Curry Cup. The major clubs in the provinces think that they should be ruling this, but look at the Sharks and my province bringing up the rear. Atrocious performance with debutantes who don't know how to play rugby together yet, and it's very embarrassing. But good to see Bolon Cavaliers pull out a win today, and we saw the Griquas destroy the province side on Friday. We saw Pumas obliterate the Bulls at home, 41-7. What an embarrassing performance that was. And we also saw the Sharks fall, although they didn't give up 64 points this week. They fell to the Cheetahs at home. Wow, bad day for some on the road, bad day for some at home. Anyway, welcome back to the program. Rugby this weekend. Somebody wrote in one of my videos a while ago, why are you obsessed with South Africa? Here's my question. Why are you obsessed with me? This tiny little YouTube channel with just 110,000 subscribers, and people feel the need to come here and write their little nasty comments. Obsessed with me. You're the one who's obsessed, not me. You know, I find it hilarious that South Africans, see, that's the problem. That is the problem with these hate wankers. They look on YouTube and they can't differentiate. I guess they assume that I was born with YouTube in front of me and that I spent my entire life doing this. This is all that I do. They must think this is the entirety of my personality, the entirety of my academic work, the entirety of my contribution to life. Clueless wonders who are too freaking lazy to push Google and do a search for the name and find the wealth of information showing my CV, what I've done, who I am, and where I've gone. But lazy people are the world over, folks, and not much you can do about them except pity their pathetic behavior. But no, I get a kick out of it. Oh, why are you obsessed with South Africa? Why are you on my channel? You're the one obsessed. No one. Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I know this is a news, not for my audience here, but for the hate wankers lurking in the background. I know this is surprising for you, but you do realize that nobody is sitting in your living room with a firearm pointed at you, forcing you to put your YouTube on your TV or on your PC or on your laptop, on your tablet, on your mobile device. No one is forcing you at gunpoint to watch these programs. Did you know that? You're free to change the channel. Puts, little K-pop on there, a little ooh, that'd be fun. Love K-pop. Yeah, do that. Find something else to do. Watch some little skinny minis, watch some, hungry hippos dancing at the pool, making the earth shake with their obesity. You can do that too. That's out there. It's there for the taking. Go watch it. Grasp the nettle. Why? What do you care what I talk about? It's my business. So you can foot sec. You can take it on the arches. You can piss off and go down the road. Silly little people. Why am I obsessed with South Africa? Why are you an ass? Why are you an ass? Were you born that way? Was it a product of inculcation? Were your parents asses too? Do you come from a long line of asses throughout history? Just asking for a friend. Oh, dear goodness gracious. Okay. Now everybody wants to copy my music. By the way, that was a new song that we had at the top, Waiting on the Call. What'd you guys think? Waiting on the Call. I know that we got about twice as many people as when we started with that song, Waiting for the Call. That's a pretty good one. I made that one a while ago. Made another one too. I did disco for a change. Finally went disco. Not all that thrilled with the way the first one came out, but we can play that. Nursing my mom's brother who's about... Oh, I'm so sorry. Is Nicola, is that hospice care? Is it end-of-life care? That's never fun. Flourishing Blanket said, I think you're meant to be born in South Africa. Something went wrong. No, guys, I mean, you say this, but I could become an advocate for South Tyrol just as easily. Sud Tyrol. It's in my blood. I could become an advocate for Germany. It's in my blood. I know the intricate histories. I know the stories. I know the places. I've been there, and I speak it. So I could be just. It's the thing is that this is what people are interested in, and that's where I went with. That's what I went with. But it's not just South Africa. That's the thing that kills me. Sorry to hear that, Nicola. No, unfortunately, that's the thing. We all get to that stage, and you can't stop it. You can't stop it. So just try to keep your chin about you. Make him as comfortable, your uncle, as comfortable as he can be, and show him your love, and that matters in the final moments. And if there is an afterlife, then it'll be remembered. Oh boy, Dogzilla is typing up a storm here at the beginning. What's that all about? Gigantic owl. Wow, I like owls. I don't know that type of owl. Hawk in my garden. Well, we get freaking stuff flying over here all the time. Birds of prey fly all around this area. Yeah, owls are spectacular. Dogzilla, I wish it were as rare as you say it is, but the extreme ends of the political spectrum are there, and I've run into them. Something on my shirt here. There we go. Okay, something there. Get rid of that. That looked pretty nasty. Anyway, it was a Gettysburg shirt, in case those who don't know. Yep, July 1863. Gettysburg. So, yep, that's what this shirt is. Anyway. Let's go silent. Okay, Nicolette Grubler, welcome to Christina Elsie Van Rooyen, Karen Lang. I was just jarred awake by an alarm from night dreaming. Oh my goodness. Sorry to hear about that. Dougie Ray's back. Mitten. I don't recognize Mitten. I've wandered into owls hiking in the Pacific Northwest. I've wandered into owls hiking in the Appalachians. I've wandered into owls more than one occasion in the Rocky Mountains. That's where I've seen them more often. Strangely, I've seen owls probably 10, 12 times in my life I've come across them. Interesting birds. And they are, man, they can really do some damage to those talons of theirs. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And they can see forever. I like the ones that are all white. They're beautiful. Is that racist? Colonel Wyatt's often imitated but never intimidated. I like that. That's good. Thank you for that, Philip. Momo, what's up? Ernst, CB is back. Okay, Veroshka, hello to you. Are you off to work shortly, Veroshka? Carol Ann Burns. Kathy Price, I miss Kathy. Kathy has been sending me songs. I haven't got around to playing them. Guys, there's so much to do as I try to get ready for travel, and I've got other travel as soon as I get back. So I'm coordinating multiple trips plus consulting all simultaneously. By the way, I'm down to 86,000. Woo! 86,000 messages. Yeah, 86,000. Can you believe that? That's just crazy, folks. I'm down to 86,000 unread messages, but I was at 419,000. So you do the math. That's pretty good improvement over where I was just a week ago, a little over a week ago. It's crazy. Yeah, so, wow. See, I can multitask. I can delete. I can skim through messages while I'm doing this with you guys. But I won't. That's kind of rude. Do a couple more here, and we'll stop. What else? There we go. Okay. That's got to stay. That's got to stay. Those in between can go. Delete. Well, I hope I'm not getting appendicitis. I'm a little sore pain over here. That would be painful. That would suck. Eagle owls, okay. It's been said the path of righteousness is never smooth. That's true. Okay, our beautiful land. Okay, Kathy, you sent that to me. I didn't see a message from you. An updated message. Let me go. I was in there earlier. Let me see. Let me reload the page and see if I got something from Kathy. Did you send it in WhatsApp, Kathy? Because I don't see it in email. Maybe you sent it in WhatsApp. I don't see it there either. Hang on a second. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. That was a request to speak to Thea from the media. I was just dealing with that. Apologize. Don't mean to be rude, but I can't forget that the day will pass. It'll go by too fast if I don't do that. No, expat, I've never taken class in the reenactment is horrible. First off, it's July. The temperature is 90 degrees Fahrenheit. It's almost 40 degrees Celsius. It's humid, over 85, 90%, dripping wet, miserable, wearing wool uniforms, and you stand around for hours for about 3 minutes of excitement when people fire blank rounds and half the rifles fail to discharge and you run across a field. No, never done it. Not interested. Nice to watch other suckers do it, but not going to be something for me. Okay, Kathy. Then I don't see the email from you, Kathy. When did you send it? Your offer consult. Did you just send it today? Let me do a search for... Let me do a search. For that person that wrote to me and said that they had sent me a message. Oh, now it's on the next page. Okay. I responded earlier. Okay. Oh, there it is. I found it. Oh, you sent it on August 8th, a couple days ago. Okay. Oh. Okay. This has a picture. Okay. All right, let me try to play it now. Sounds like a sucky.
Ons land, Suid-Afrika, so vol van kleur en krag.
Hij maakt muziek.
Die son het geskyn, die berge trots en sak. Maar nou is ons verlore, ons hart is zwaar en seer. Ons verlaat die grond, maar dra dit altyd mee. Kom, o Suid-Afrika, jou skoonheid bly in ons. Ons is so jammer,
baie met trane en gebede hier. Ons land, Suid-Afrika, is nou so donker en stil. Die
Donker en
son
stil.
sal eendag weer skyn, maar vandag moet ons wag. Ons harte is swaar en baie, baie seer. Ons moet onthou waar ons tuister is waar die hart is. Koor, o Suid-Afrika, jou skoonheid bly in ons. Ons is so jammer, pragtige land, ons laat jou nou agter ons. Maar in Amerika se arms, waar hoop ons groet, hou ons koppe en geloof hoog, met liefde wat nooit verdoof. Dankie, kolonial Chris, jy is gestuur. Jy is altyd welkom om saam te braai. Sing en
Expecting
lag.
that. I wasn't expecting that live.
Maak nie saak wat gebeur nie.
Maak nie
Ons
saak
huil
nie.
vandag, maar môre is nog 'n dag om weer te lag.
Okay, ons prachtige land, our beautiful country. Well, I didn't expect that greeting to Colonel Wyatt there at the end. Yes, and Insta. Well, thank you for that. That's from Kathy Price. She sent a few others. Yeah, sorry I didn't get around to it till now, Kathy, but just so busy. Yep, trying to sort out this medical situation, trying to prep. Also got some ordering to do. Got things going on here. I need to get myself a couple more removable drives to carry along with me for the trip. So. Wow. Yeah, beautiful song, Liza. Fundameva. Yep, pretty cool. But very much like a beer hall song. I saw myself drinking a Hefeweizen, one of those big liter mugs, in a Hofbräuhaus tent or at Oktoberfest. That's what it felt like. Felt like we were at Oktoberfest there. Frank Erasmus, how's it going, man? No, my pleasure, Kathy. You got a couple more there. Was that the best of the lot? Are the others just as good? I don't know. You tell me. Anyway, folks, yeah, so we did a new song this morning. That was the one we played earlier, Flight to Freedom. That's pretty cool. Be sure to hit that like button. We've got 76 likes so far, 116 people here. A little bit slower for a Monday for people showing up. What's going on there? People losing interest in the Colonel's program. Well, this is going to be controversial. I'll have to make a video on this tonight when I'm done because this is going to make people's heads explode. What have I been warning you about Asylum, folks? What have I been saying? And this isn't a refugee conversation. This is news, okay? What have I been warning you about Asylum? It's not a good path to follow. First off, you must be in the United States legally in order to apply for asylum. That's the first problem. Second problem is that it is not looked favorably. The third problem is it's an adversarial process. You're guilty until proven innocent in essence. You must prove that you've been a victim. You must prove that you've been targeted. You must prove that your life is in jeopardy in order to be granted asylum. It's also a lengthy process, and it's also a costly process which requires lawyers. So what have I told you since the very beginning when this gift fell out of the sky, manna from heaven from Donald John Trump? The gift of a kostenlos, gratis, free program to apply for refugee status, which doesn't cost you money. They give you money. They give you medical insurance. They give you refugee cash assistance. They give you a case officer to help you get settled and translate your things and arrange your CV and get your social security number and find a job and figure out transportation. Talk about a gift, an amazing gift that cost you bupkis, unless you got 85 pets you want to bring over. That's on you. But why in the world would you be interested in the asylum case? It doesn't work very well. Here's some bad news. Here's some very bad news. And this is something I said is likely to happen. I haven't focused on this very much because I'm not talking about asylum. I'm just trying to tell you that it doesn't work very well. Look, if you are in I don't know, you're a gay person in Syria and you want asylum, apply for it. You come here on a conference, apply for it. Say, I'm gay. I'm not safe in Syria. Well, that's reasonable. That makes sense because you're not getting a refugee status. You're not giving people from Syria refugee status. They're going to Turkey and to Europe. So it makes sense. But for South Africans, it doesn't make sense. So here's the bad news I've cautioned about in the past, but of course I'm accused by the person who continues to slam me of saying, well, he's changed his tune now. I've never changed my tune. I've always said that asylum is not a good path for South Africans. Why would you pursue it when it's expensive? It's unlikely to succeed in 2023. Now, see, here's the thing. I get accused by this person of not knowing what I'm talking about, but I show the stats. I show the data from the government. The president's report to Congress for 2023 fiscal year, actually it's 2024 fiscal year, was the last one reported. And only 11% of South Africans were granted asylum who applied. 11%. You want those odds? As far as we know, the other way around, it's been 100% so far. All right. With asylum, you enter a country by lying for the reason you had. Exactly. Well, Guy, I think that's honestly true. Yep. You come here and you apply, you ask for asylum because you entered under false pretenses. Yep, that's true. I agree. Asylum is not a good path. But here's the news, folks. Here's the news breaking tonight from National Public Radio. No one else is covering this story, so we'll go with NPR before they run out of money and can't broadcast anymore. But NPR says the following. Asylum seekers thought they were following the rules. Now some are told to start over. The Trump administration is stripping protections of some asylum applicants who filed as far as 2019. National Public Radio has learned that dozens of immigrants across the U.S. have received letters in the mail. Okay, first off, I'm sorry. You're not an immigrant if you're an asylum seeker. You're not an immigrant if you're a refugee. You are an asylum seeker or you're an asylum seeker or a refugee. That's what you are. You're not an immigrant. That's not immigration. This is stupid. This is a misuse of the word. These people need to look up the word legal definition of what an asylum seeker is. That some of these asylum seekers across the U.S. have received letters in the mail notifying that their asylum cases have been dismissed by U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, a branch of the Department of Homeland Security. The reason, according to letters, these asylum seekers, many of whom entered between 2019 and 2022, did not receive a mandatory screening known as a credible fear interview at the border. Correct. You must receive that. But the Biden regime allowed these people to falsely apply for asylum. The interview is conducted by an asylum officer once someone has been detained or arrived in the U.S. It is meant as an opportunity for a person to describe any fear of persecution they may face. The U.S. didn't have enough asylum officers to do credible fear of interviews for every person crossing the border, given the huge influx of criminals invading the country after starting with the pandemic. At the end of the first Trump administration, during the Biden administration, experts told NPR. Now it appears the new Trump administration is dismissing applications, effectively making people start over in a process they began years ago. This round of asylum case dismissal is the latest effort by the Trump administration to strip protections from those who've been in the U.S. for years. Yeah, because they're here fraudulently. Yep. You're literally making documented people, again, undocumented, and they're already here, says Michelle Marty Rivera, an immigration attorney. No, Michelle Rivera. No, we're not. They're not documented. They were never interviewed. It was fraudulent the way they were allowed to enter the country. They were allowed to enter fraudulently. They did not follow the law. That may not be their fault, but they're fraudulent asylum seekers. 95% of them were denied asylum anyway. So you're not making anybody undocumented. They're undocumented to begin with. Stupid stuff from stupid leftist attorneys. When asked about the asylum application dismissals, USCIS spokesman Matthew Tragesser said that if upon reviewing an application they discovered that Immigration Customs Enforcement or Customs Border Protection designated a person as expedited removal, they closed the application due to lack of jurisdiction. Yep. It's a long-standing practice. It's not new. Per USCIS process, a credible fear interview is key to pulling someone out of expedited removal prior to filing for asylum. The credible fear interview is considered a screening tool, and essentially there's a higher standard when someone achieves that, then they can often go through the asylum process. Yep. And that's because they're allowing people to fraudulently apply for asylum. Return them to the border. They're not real asylum seekers. Yeah, why'd they leave home without wearing their signs? That's a good one. Well, Dogzilla, I don't know. What are the requirements to get into mental asylum? Have you checked into it lately? Are you feeling a little under the weather there? So let's see. Attorney Maria Florencia Garcia. Notice they're all Hispanics. They're defending these people. Has one client who entered through the southern border and was originally put in expedited removal, but was released into the U.S. before he received his interview. Once he was released, they did schedule a credible fear interview, but it was canceled. We tried to get rescheduled for a couple years. It never happened. adding that they applied for asylum anyway because that must be filed within a year of being in the country. But in recent weeks, that client got the letter notifying them of dismissal. He's unable to work. He's not going to be able to renew his employment authorization card. The only way that he's going to be able to proceed is by showing up at ICE and telling them he has a fear of return. They'll likely get him detained. They're just doing the process that was allotted to them and that was legal and provided to them the moment they were presenting themselves to the U.S. And now the government's wanting to retroactively go back. Well, the government can do what it wants. They have no right to be in America. No one has a right for asylum here. We don't have to grant asylum to anybody. Trump administration this summer unveiled a new policy regarding immigrants who enter the country illegally to be put in detention without an opportunity for release while they fight their cases. That's how it should be. If you illegally enter this country, you're a criminal. You should be arrested. And you should have no right to claim asylum because you're a fraud. Immigration lawyers told National Public Radio, if you intentionally invade our country, we're going to reward you by letting you stay here? No. Get the hell out. Immigration lawyers told NPR that they're concerned that the clients who are waiting for asylum interviews will get detained if they report to ICE to schedule their credible fear interviews. Well, so what, are you going to continue to live here illegally? You'll get caught eventually. There's a lack of trust. There's a lot of uncertainty that makes people afraid, makes people not want to fight their cases, whether they're strong or not. Well, almost none of them have strong cases, Ms. Garcia, so you can sit there and pontificate all you want. Less than 5% of these people get asylum because only a handful of them are legitimate cases. Gideon says, do we know any people from outside of South Africa that have made it to USA on the refugee program for South Africans? No, I don't know of anybody, not a single person. You go to court, you get detained, you go for your ICE appointment, you get detained, you go to work, you get detained, you apply for asylum, you were processed incorrectly, just can't do anything. Well, you shouldn't have invaded America. No sympathy. My empathy factor is down here. This is what I feel for criminal alien invaders. I don't care how hard your life was or how miserable or what you think you're fleeing. That is not the path. You want to come here, you do it legitimately. You get no empathy. Sorry. Is that harsh? That hurt people's feelings? Too bad. Get over it. So sad. So sad. Desperately needed. The national dialogue cannot fail, says the Anglican Archbishop. I don't know what planet this guy's living on, but it's not needed at all, not alone desperately needed. Anglican Archbishop Thabo Makgoba has stressed the urgency of the national dialogue for poor and marginalized South Africans. No. We don't need a national dialogue for poor people in South Africa. We need the ANC to quit stealing. Stop stealing the resources the state has available to it. That's all it takes. Put competent people in government instead of your caters. We don't need a national dialogue for that. He was part of the dialogue's eminent persons group, made these remarks during a sermon at St. Albans in Pretoria. His comments came amid several prominent legacy foundations withdrawing from the dialogue's planning process in the upcoming national convention, set to take place this coming Friday. He stressed the importance of keeping the dialogue free from manipulation by political and economic elites. Well, that's exactly what it is. The only purpose of the national dialogue is to distract from the ANC's failures while they steal out the back door. There's no need for national dialogue. It's utter crap. You're biased. Okay, B-I-A-S-E-D, biased. Okay. If it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. What are you talking about? South Africa's involved in the Trump assassination. What the heck is that? DJ Silver Eagle. Sure, Liza, I can give you a Spotify link. DJ Silver Eagle. Okay, here's the link on Spotify. You can find it all over the place. But the artist name is DJ Silver Eagle. A lot of people are going to assume that means my gray hair. It's not. It has to do with my rank. Yeah, we got a lot. I got, what, 1,015? I had 1,048. That's the first time I noticed it go down. Wow. I lost 33 followers on here. What the heck happened there? Before the weekend, I had 1,048. Now it says 1,015. That's weird. That's very weird. Let me go see if the stats match up with that. I've posted 2 new songs tonight, The Bot Gone Rogue and Flight to Freedom. That's weird. I've not seen that before. Huh. No, the number of views are pretty much the same, pretty consistent. So I don't know how 30-some people stopped following it. That's weird. I don't get that. Let me see if I can find Spotify for Artists. Spotify for Artists. Let me see if I can see what it says in my account there. Okay. Huh. Yeah, it says 1,017. That's weird. Number of views is dropping off over the weekend. Quite a few. Well, the whole week, not many people watching. Well, I guess the enthusiasm has died off. Well, that sucks. That sucks. Yeah. Brazil's consistent. U.S. consistent. South Africa, a few viewers have dropped off. Bummer. That must have been the trolls. Or maybe people don't like the music. Oh, well. Too bad about that. Mentioned with the rest of the investigation specific regarding information around this. What are you talking about, Rainier? A conversation with who? What are some of the downsides living in Pennsylvania? A turnpike, a ridiculously expensive turnpike. It cuts through the southern portion of the state. It cuts across the middle. You can't get across the middle state without paying a fortune for something we paid off 50 years ago. It's 100 years old now. That's a downside. Philadelphia is an eyesore. Pittsburgh is traffic there is annoying. Pennsylvanians don't have a great sense of fashion when it comes to aesthetics on highways and things like that. Kind of boring roads. Cat is snoring in front of the heater. Nikki says I'm consistently gaining listeners. Well, I got up to 1,048 and now it's back down to 1,017. I don't know what happened there. Rainier, what are you talking about? Byron had a discussion. What was mentioned with the rest of his investigation sensitive regarding information around this? What investigation, what sensitivity, and what is this? What are we talking about? I don't know what you're talking about there. Well, I'm glad you listened to it, Monica, but I think that every single person listened to it, I've talked to, because according to that, it hasn't that many. Only 44 plays per day. That's not a lot for... Okay. Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm in Suno right now. Something's going on there, Kathy. Digital glitch, yeah. Elar Doiskoy, welcome to you. Rainier, I'm very curious what you're talking about. What did Byron say? I don't have time to watch Byron anymore, and he hasn't come to my program in a few months, so whatever. Your gardener's from Mexico. You're paying him $400 for a hard day's work. Well, $400 is more than the average salary of most people. You must be very well off, Dogzilla, to be able to afford $400 for a gardener. How nice for you. What's the price of a load of white bread? I don't know, Philip. I don't eat white bread. Rarely have it. Don't pay attention to it. And it's all double and triple what it was before Biden became president. If you can't stop following you, listen to the whole speech. Maybe that's what it was, Sue Marie. Maybe I lost all the ANC listeners. maybe the Pala Pala Knights chased them away. Pala Pala. Where the cash sits in the sofa, man. Maybe that's what chased them. That's what it is. I lost my viewers because I did the Pala Pala. Pala Pala. This is why my viewership dropped on Spotify, because these guys disappeared.
Money stuffed in my sofa, a treasure untold. Shira's got a game ranch, stories unfold. Pala Pala, ritzy joint, white beams, luxury whispers and velvet dreams. Sarah laughs, but nothing's as it seems. Game of chance or a clever scheme, hidden fortune stitched in the seam. You'll never know till you're caught in the stream. Palo Palo, where the secrets play. Under the cushions, the cash will stay. Palo Palo, don't give it away. Rainy day, rainy day. Palo Palo, where the secrets play. Under the cushions, the cash will stay. Palo Palo, don't give it away. Rainy day, rainy day. Hey.
Pala Pala Nights in honor of Cyril Ramaphosa. Maybe that's why we lost some viewers over there on Spotify, if we really did. There's some great YouTube videos coming out regarding corruption, not colonialism, causing mass decline. Well, that's good to hear, Nike and Nikki. Been doing that for years. Glad to see other people jumping on board. Can I find this song on YouTube? Yes, you can, Brett. You can find all those songs at DJ Silver Eagle Topic, as that's what YouTube does for artists. They have channels dedicated. So DJ Silver Eagle. 192 subscribers. And that's what it looks like right now. I have no control over what it looks like. That's YouTube. Oops, that's not it. YouTube puts the channel up. There you go. 192 subscribers. 49 videos on there. Yep. Pala Pala's right there. Sanctioned State of Mind. FAFO Fridays. Email Avalanche. Our Saffers. Sweeney's Hot Jeans. All the music's there, folks. 49. They're not videos. They're actual songs. So, yes, because YouTube Music has that stuff. So that's why you'll find that there. All right. See, we are surrounded by cancer caterers, croonies, and very well-connected cancer entrepreneurs. Wifey liked this one Friday evening. At first, she was shocked that we can say and do things like this. Then her fear set again. It took a lot of calming our part two to follow. I don't know what you're talking about. I see Mokanazi has really set the vat amongst the pigeons, the cat. Yeah, the Mkwanazi might be the one thing that the bow that broke the ship of the ANC's corruption. We'll see. I mean, his life is in jeopardy, so I'd keep an eye on that. I mean, they're desperate enough they'll kill him just to shut things up. Yep. Headed to bed, says Brett. Okay, take care, Brett. So, Rainier, let me get this right. I didn't watch the interview. I listened to a little bit of it. So, this is a guy that lives in the UK who claims that he has evidence that the South Africans got money from Iran. He also claims that the South Africans or did I get that wrong? I know he claims that South Africa had advance warning of the October 7th, 2023 event so that they could prepare a legal case for the ICJ before it even happened. And now he's saying that they were involved in the assassination attempt of Trump. Which assassination attempt? The one in Florida or the one in Pennsylvania? The more I hear about this interview, the more outlandish it becomes. How does some guy who's not in the intelligence community, I don't know his background. Look, I'm not trying to rubbish him, but I don't understand this. What is this guy's name? Is it Lewis? Interesting. Thank you, Rainier, for sharing that because now I'm curious. Justin Lewis. Okay. Awful lot of crazy stuff going on. UK-based judicial rights group. – So he came out in April, and now Byron has interviewed him. Justin Lewis, representing the UK-based judicial rights group CASISA, has written to Leo Brent Bozell calling for sanctions against the country. Well, he's not the ambassador yet, and he would be the wrong person to lobby. Why would you write? See, this is already a problem. This is already a problem. Let me explain this, folks. Let me explain this. If this guy is in charge of an NGO, now maybe the story is being reported incorrectly, so I'll accept that. But if this guy's an NGO that tries to affect policy, he would know better than write to an ambassador. Ambassador doesn't determine policy, and it's not the right button to push. The right button to push is the Congress. You must reach out through a lobbying in the Congress. Anyway, so that doesn't make sense. A letter dated March 27th and seen by the IOL, Lewis, who leads the human rights advocacy group, claimed that South Africa's legal actions against Israel are part of a broader Hamas strategy. He's currently involved in investigation and allegations of corruption within South African banks linked to UK tax havens. He asserts the investigation aims to expose legalized, court-approved international money laundering. The tensions stem from South Africa's December 2023 claims that Israel is committing genocide. During this attack, Hamas... Lewis alleged that evidence exists demonstrating that the South African government was aware of Hamas's planned attacks before their occurrence in October 2023. He claimed that elements within the Department of International Relations cooperation actively supported Hamas's political strategy by facilitating access to the International Criminal Court and the International Court of Justice, which Hamas, as a non-signatory, could not access. As part of the political strategy, preparations were made before October 7th atrocity against Israel to set mechanisms in place for approaching the ICC and for protection from Israel's anticipated response. He likened the situation to assisting a neighbor to burn his house down, then rushing to court to claim insurance protection from your insurer. Lewis argued that as a result of these actions, thousands of lives were lost. Okay, whatever. And, okay, here he goes. In December 24, he submitted a brief to U.S. Senate and Congress. Now, that's the right button to push, detailing his concerns. He further stated that he reached out to South African government and national unity to request whether Ramaphosa was aware of the alleged Durko-Hamas collaboration. In response to his queries, Crispin Piri, spokesman of the Department of International Relations, dismissed his allegations as unverified and baseless. Piri raised concern about his credibility, noted his involvement in an investigation into a purported $2 trillion a year money laundering operation linked to South African banks. So that's that. Okay, there he is. Consultant. Let's see what his background is. He was South African Navy. Oh, he's a South African. Okay, so Justin Lewis is actually South African. He was in the South African Navy for 1 year. Went to St. Andrews in Grahamstown. Went to Stellenbosch as a BA. Interesting. All right. Well, Sumari, I've seen no evidence of any of this stuff. It sounds like conjecture. Look, I'll admit that that if there's a legal case, we're not necessarily going to see the information, but it just, okay, I've asked the question, why would South Africa know? And first off, the timelines don't match. The timelines don't match. If South Africa, now that's more nuanced than what I heard was originally said. Of course, I could be getting information third hand, but that's more nuanced. It does sound like conspiracy theory stuff. That's one reason why I don't have a number of guests on my program, because, I mean, I don't like to delve into things. You know, when Corne Mulder was reported to have had these preconditions from the U.S. government, I was uncomfortable reporting that until I spoke to Corne Mulder. And when I had Corne Mulder on the program and I spoke to him, I felt a lot more comfortable based on what he told me off camera, that it was legitimate. Now, I don't doubt Corne Mulder. I've known him for years. He's the longest serving member of South Africa's parliament, and he's an honorable person. But what was being stated in the press is what I questioned, because the press has a bad habit of misreporting things, all right? Like that. Why would you lead with he gave the information to the ambassador? That's not even germane. Brent Bozell, it's just if you give it to him for FYI, but he's not going to take action. So it just there's way too many things just don't make sense here. Again, if Justin Lewis is making the argument that Naledi Pandor and Durko were in cahoots with Hamas and Tehran before 7 October, I'll buy that. I have no doubt that's the case. No doubt whatsoever. They're kissing cousins. They love each other. And they hate normal people. So I have no problem believing that. But if you're going to tell us that the South African government, which leaks like a sieve, had pre-knowledge that that attack was scheduled for October 7th, and when it was pulled off, they knew about that. That one I find hard to believe. Because you wouldn't have to tell them of an upcoming date. You might tell them, hey, listen, we plan to attack Israel at some point, and when we're ready, we want you to take the case, because we know they're going to respond with overwhelming force. We want you to take the case the ICJ claimed genocide. I'm sure they planned that. I have no problem believing that whatsoever. But the allegation here is that the South African government knew that they were going to murder thousands of people or attack and kill innocent civilians and slaughter them before that attack occurred and took no action. If that's true, I want to see the evidence of it. And then I want warrants issued for crimes against humanity, because a failure to act is as bad as acting. Baroshka, go to work. Be safe. Well, Morning Shot's getting a lot of views on their videos, regardless of what they publish. They're apparently very popular at the moment. And they're popping out videos quicker than bubblegum. Something I was accused of doing recently. People, when I was beating every South African content creator, a certain content creator said, well, yeah, it's no wonder. Look how many videos the guy puts out. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, I have no trouble believing certain things, but now so here's the thing. What was said in that interview that they knew about the assassination? That's a very dangerous claim to make. Now, I'm not making that claim. I have no evidence whatsoever. And I have no evidence other than anecdotal evidence that they took money from Tehran to pay their debts, but they have not disclosed where the money came from. That's a crime. They have a legal obligation to disclose where their donations come from. And they can't account for the $102 million they paid off that party planner or the $20 million they spent in Mumbai on that party, the 112th anniversary of the ANC. They can't account for the 122 million rand. It isn't part of Chancellor House or the Bato Royal Trust. None of that money covers that. Plus, they had an election campaign just weeks after that. So something is definitely amiss. The ANC, which couldn't pay its staff for nearly 3 years, suddenly is paying its staff. They have shrank in membership base. They have less money coming in. The sheriff went to their office at Lutuli House to inventory all of their items for public sale because they couldn't pay their bills. And suddenly they're flush with cash? No. Their ship didn't come in unless it came in from Tehran. Philip Holt says, on the Truth Report, Rob Hersoff says Emma Powell has some very damaging info other than what she's made public, and that's why they got rid of her. Well, Philip, Emma Powell is not the only person that has very damaging info. Emma Powell, if she has damaging info, she's not the only one that has damaging info. All right? Yeah. There's a reason certain people get attacked. Yeah. She's not the only one that has damaging information. I have not really waded into that pond, what Rob said there about Emma Powell. I have talked about Emma Powell, and that's a witch hunt, and that it's just a smear campaign against her. But yeah, there's a lot more going on below the surface here, folks. The bottom line is this. The Democratic Alliance has become part of the ANC, in effect. And if you don't agree with that and you're in the Democratic Alliance, you will be neutralized and eliminated. You will be made superfluous. And that is what has happened. The Democratic Alliance showed its true colors when they overrode the Federal Council's decision not to kick Ronaldo out of the party over a ridiculous video from 15 years ago. When that was overruled by the elites in that party, they proved who they are. And I'm not for or against the Democratic Alliance, but I do report on them objectively. And when they did that, they lost a lot of viewers. Now, a lot of people were hoodwinked into thinking Ronaldo's a racist. I've been with Ronaldo. I hang out with Ronaldo. If he's a racist, he does a really good job of hiding it. I've seen him treat people with equal treatment and compassion and fairness, black, white, and brown, and Indians. There's actually Indians in PE. I didn't know that until I went there. Anyway, so yeah, and then John Steenhuisen's cowardly decision to tell Roman Kabanak, who he took out of a job and forced to sell his business in order to take that job, give up his business at Morning Shot. He hired him, knowing who he was, knowing his background, knowing how he was snarky and that not everybody liked that. He hired him only to be a coward and then call for his resignation because he has no testicles. Did I say that out loud? I did say that out loud. Yes, he's castrated. He cannot stand up for what's right. That's a shame. While we're on that topic, I'm not here to bash John Steenhuisen, but there's a number of farmers who are very unhappy with the Department of Agriculture's response to foot and mouth disease. It's costing them a fortune, the ineptitude. Legacy media independent journalists don't care to verify leads or info. Life is so fast, no time. Great that you do. Well, I do, Nikki. I do. as best I can. Not everything can be verified with everything. Sometimes you have to break the story, but you have to caveat it saying, we don't know, we can't confirm. Yep, or that's speculation. And that's what I do all the time. Emma Powell's holding her cards to the internal elections. If she leads the DA, that might get her votes back. Arnold, that's interesting. What kind of job available for 59 male in the U.S., seeing that everyone is to work and pay their fair share? Well, Gordon, I don't know. What kind of qualifications do you have? Are you a car guard? Are you a nuclear physicist? Are you an agronomist? Are you a pimp? There's jobs for everybody, man. I don't know. Just do a search. Go to Ladders. Go to Indeed.com. Go to Monster.com. You can find millions of jobs, but you need to know where you're going. Noise overwhelming. So many people, including myself, lost interest in journalism news. One can not say a confirmed truth. Oh, I can, Nikki. I don't like gossip. Yeah. Also found it strange that Lewis said there was a possibility Ron Pozo was part of the evidence around all this is highly sensitive. Yeah, I don't know. Look, I'm not trying to denigrate. Maybe the guy's got the goods, but it seems implausible. If I, as a lawyer, walk around with loads of privileges, just imagine how many secrets politicians have. Well, Xavier Grayling, I was an intelligence officer for 4 decades with the most highly classified clearance, the access to programs which virtually nobody had access to. Imagine all the secrets floating around in my head that I can't share. Philip says, disheartening and lost all respect for the DA. I can understand why. A lot of claims are made. He cannot disclose most of the proof. Therefore, one cannot make assumptions if it's true or not. But one can ask and raise questions about the plausibility of it. And the plausibility of it just seems bizarre. And the concept that they knew about an assassination attempt on Trump. Yeah, look, the ANC can't fix potholes. Do you really think they can coordinate an ICJ case against Israel in advance? Or that they could plan or be participating in an assassination attempt against Trump? Come on. No. Nikki says, pimp, no thanks. With facts that you can verify, with that I can deal with. But hearsay, passed on info, I struggle to bite. That is one of the reasons I come here, Chris. You do facts. I try, Ingrid. I mean, sometimes we have limited information. I've done that, breaking stories especially. When I've broken the stories on the Aurora, Colorado shootings, on the other shootings in Colorado, when I went live with that a few years ago, when I went live at Senecal, I narrate and then I analyze as it unfolds with the information available with potentials. But I don't get carried away here. 6 cases of Stella beer delivered my front doorstep when I need it. And it costs some. Wow, Dogzilla is a really wealthy guy. Do you work for Microsoft? You getting all your money from Microsoft, Dogzilla? I mean, $400 one day for a gardener, $156 for beer. How often you get that beer? Once a week? You drink far too much beer, Dogzilla, unless you're sharing with lots of people. Beer drive-thru in PA. Oh, yeah. No, we have beer drive-thrus. We had them in Ohio, too. Yep. You drive through, they bring the beer out and they put it in your car. Yep. Or in your bakkie. JP Smith, yeah. Alan, what's his name? Gordon Hill Lewis, maybe. Cellular Brink, maybe. Emma Powell, yes. Yep. Andrew Whitfield, yes. Yep. There are some people in that party that are still respectable, but they're quiet. Francois Rogers, yep. Howick, Chris, another one. Yep. By the way, Justin Lewis and I are linked on LinkedIn, so I'm not besmirching his character. I'm just saying that the whole thing seems highly plausible. I'd like to know more. Maybe he can share it with me privately if I reach out to him. I can share it with you. No, I can't. No, I can't. I could go to jail. Retired Boeing. Ah, gotcha, Dogzilla. Okay. All right. Okay. Hopefully you weren't involved in some of their bad decisions. They had some good decisions. I remember they were riding high a few years ago when they came out with the Dreamliner. After Airbus went for the the 380, was it the 380, the big one? They went with that big one, and it didn't pan out the way they thought. The Dreamliner, they thought Boeing wasn't going to do well, but the Dreamliner turned out to be a much smarter move. That composite fuselage, which took a long time to sort out. Potholes filled at times, but with the first rains, they get washed. Well, that means they're not repaired. Filling a pothole is not repairing a pothole. Filling a pothole is not repairing a pothole, folks. Simple as that. A380, the big one. Yeah, it's the big one, Xavier. Yeah, I've been on the A380. I've flown on Air France, or as I like to call them, Air Chance, and Lufthansa. Yep, flown on both of those A380s. From Joburg to Munich and from Joburg to Paris. I've flown on both of them. Yeah, A380. It's awesome. As a passenger, I really enjoyed it. But I love the Dreamliner. The Dreamliner is sweet. I've flown on that with Ethiopian. I've flown on it with, was it United? It was United, yeah. I love the 787 Dreamliner. It's one of the best planes as a passenger that they ever came up with. Yep. Jean-Luc Gibson. Hello, Jean-Luc Gibson. Kathy, we do get some potholes filled. Yep, okay. JP Smith is the only, okay. All right, I've read all that. Okay, I'm caught up. Pala. Under the cushions, the cash will stay. Yes, I know. I really need to interview JP Smith. So that reminds me. All right, took care of that. Had to send it to somebody. Sue Marie, you can be tired of politics, but politics isn't tired of you. That's the thing. People are always saying, I don't listen to politics, I don't care about politics, but politics comes for you, whether you like it or not. Just seeing it now why my arm was on fire in the early hours. Looks like a vindictive spider. Oh, my goodness, Karen. Oof. Good Lord. Oh, my word, things are not pleasant for you of late, Karen. Yeah, no kidding. She's having a tough go, Nikki. But she's not in Taiwan. She's in South Africa. Pala Pala. Well, it's tomorrow. It's now August 11th. Wow. Folks, the time just keeps slipping on by. I've got to get up in the morning and try to get this thing sorted out for my leg. Now this question is about whether I have enough time to get this injection before I travel. Politics are history. Yeah, I know, Nikki. Yep. Nia Heritage is here. Welcome to you. Yeah, spider bites can be troublesome, particularly if they're venomous. See that? Those are my teeth. How you doing, Nia? What's going on? So I also did a disco song. Let's play this one, guys, to see how you like it. If you, whoa, did we just drop from like 219 to 219 to 209? Wow, 10 people disappeared. Sorry to see you go, folks. Bye-bye. But I did this one earlier. This is Boomerang Tariffs. Let's play the second version. It's a little bit shorter. Disco. It's my first disco song.
You build a wall, call it trade protection. Think you're the king of every direction. But every block you stack just falls back down like a boomerang spinning back around. Boomerang tariffs, they come back fast.
There you go. Boomerang tariffs. Disco. Something different. I hadn't done disco. That's a disco song. There you go. Nico's out of here. Sorry to see you go, Nico. your neighbors haven't complained. Okay, nice one. Well done, Colonel. The tariffs are not punitive. Yeah, yep. They're not punitive. They're not punitive tariffs. Yep. I wonder who will be next good DA member that we fired. Yeah, Leon Schreiber, yeah. Siggy's not a fan of disco. Disco's cool. I tried something different. We do it lots of reggae, lots of country. Tried a little bit different. Dogzilla's the Owl is still out there, okay? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's still out there, man. That's crazy. All right, what else I got here from the Newsline stuff? Wow. See, I play music and people disappear. We're down to 194. People just disappeared. Of course, we covered the story earlier today. EFF, ATM, and Action SA all calling for the removal of Gayton McKenzie over his tweets from years ago. Hypocrisy is hilarious from these clowns. These tweets are from a long time ago, well over a decade ago, and everyone knew they were there. They're not exactly news. But because he is complaining about the purportedly racist comments of the Open Chats podcast, which has been canceled from DSTV, which has had to apologize, and which now, because of public pressure, is coming under scrutiny from the South African Captured Human Rights Commission. Gayton McKenzie is calling for them to be punished. I disagree with that statement. I think that people should just ignore them and let them wither away. If they're going to be bigoted and racist, then just don't support them. But they're calling for his ouster now. But the things he said, he'd already said last year when he was nominated and elected or picked to be a member of the cabinet. Why didn't you bring it out then? So Action SA, ATM, and EFF don't have a leg to stand on. They're all hypocrites of the highest order. Especially Action SA. The racist bile that Herman Mashaba put in his Twitter account all this year until recently. Shocking. Shocking, the things he said. If you want to open a case about the insulting the dignity of South Africans, Action SA, you need to look no further than the leader of your party. You need. By the way, I've interviewed Herman Mashaba, very affable, pleasant guy to talk to, but his Twitter account is out of control. Whether he's doing it or he's got someone doing it, it's out of control. Oh, it is the South African Captured Human Rights Commission. That's what they called it forever. It was captured a long time ago. It's a black supremacy, black hegemony organization. Notice their punishments. What punishment did Nota Baloya get? Nobs and Kizi. Fikile Mabalula. Nothing. There should be a South African Human Rights Commission case, an equality court case directed against Fikile Mabalula right now for insulting the dignity of the South African refugees. Yeah, well, the ANC machine is taking people out in the DA with the collusion of DA leadership. The DA is destroying its party for the sake of blue light escorts and nothing. They're accomplishing nothing. Show me one accomplishment that the DA has done in the government issue. Can somebody, please, somebody in the chat, tell me something that the DA has accomplished by being part of the government national unity? Did they stop Bella, NHI, EWC, the black tax, land expropriation? Have they stopped anything? Yeah, I really couldn't listen to that last night. I get Ronaldo's position in politics, but I don't understand David Scott's position in politics. I listen politely. I was a bit surprised to see David Scott criticize Gayton McKenzie. Not that he's wrong in doing that, but I was a bit surprised to see that. Yeah, Home Affairs is getting better. Wow, that was pretty easy to do. It was so abysmal. You know, that's not really anything. Have an awesome day, says Angelique. Going to go make coffee. You can't listen to me on the porch? Or is there danger somebody will steal your phone? It's a strong arm of black supremacy. Yeah, it's black supremacy, black hegemony. That's what it's all about. It's not about black South Africans. It's about a black hegemony, which is not the same as being black. Black hegemony, black supremacy is not about being black. Those are two different things. But a lot of people aren't that bright. They'll just conflate the two when I say that. But they're not the same. The DA is only where the cameras are. I like that. That's well stated. Thank you, Lorette, for your thoughts on my hip. My dad broke poison sac around a bite Whole side inflamed for 8 months. Oh my gosh. Old Hermie of Action SA. Iceman cooling gel. Guys have got all kinds of solutions here. I don't know what the solution is for spider bites. I don't know what they are. The DA has done blank all, pardon my French. No, Summary, it's fine. They stopped our water and power in our area. There you go. So the DA's accomplished that. Look, I'm not attacking the DA. I'm just asking what they've done, folks. The Asylum members filled a survey on their journey so far. They've received the call or not. Okay, Judy, what are you talking about? Let me go see if Judy said something. Oh, is anyone here fill out the Americana survey? Well, they're welcome to send it to the State Department, but the State Department is not going to make policy based off of an informal survey conducted by a private organization, which is not even a non-government organization. I don't really think it's going to have any impact in moving the needle. I'm not sure why they're doing that. There is no refugee application, Truth Lover. If you filled out an application with someone, you're going the wrong place. There is a statement of interest that's available on the U.S. Embassy website. It's a Google form that says you're interested in the program. If you get called, then an application process starts. Until you've gone to that point, you haven't applied for anything. Vinegar. Huh. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what does it. Well, the oppression across the continent continues. Uganda denies bail for opposition leader Kizza Mzigi. Case has raised concerns among government critics about a crackdown ahead of Uganda's national election. Yep. Ugandan judges refused to grant bail to a veteran opposition leader who's been jailed for nearly 9 months for treason charges. Judge Emmanuel Baguma said on Friday that the 180-day maximum period before mandatory bail is granted only began when he was remanded in the civilian court, which means that he's short by 12 days. That's because he was held by the military. The case has raised concerns among government critics, including opposition leader Bobby Wine. Yeah, Uganda's not a real country. It's a fascist dictatorship. I know. I live there. It's not alone. So that's happening. We've got Médecins Sans Frontières overwhelmed because aid has been cut in Ethiopia. Health facilities juggling rising cases of infant hunger, malaria, and an area that also shelters thousands of refugees. Funding cuts have meant that the closure of nutrition services in 4 of the region's 7 camps. The region also shelters 400,000 refugees among 7 camps. So, here you go. South Africans complaining about the pace of refugee. There you go. You could be living like that. You could be living like that. There's refugees. Instead, we get a number of ungrateful people. Chad's opposition leader has been sentenced to 20 years for inciting violence. Masra denies the charge against him, which relate to intercommunal clashes that left dozens dead back in May. Chad's former prime minister and opposition leader, Success Masra, has been sentenced to 20 years in prison for disseminating racist and xenophobic messages that incited violence. He's been subjected to ignominy and unworthy humiliation. He was prime minister between January and May of last year as head of the Transformers Party and a sharp critic of the son of Idris Deby, Mahamat Deby, the illegal usurper in charge of the country. He was among 67 co-defendants, mostly from the same ethnic group, accused of causing a clash. He's denied the charge against him. So he's been sentenced to 20 years in prison to silence him. This is what fascists do. They try to do it to Donald Trump. Trumped up charges against people that have no merit. DA is excellent when it comes to administration and accounting, not good politicians, though. Freedom from Plus, that Groeneveld guy is a wise politician. Yes, but he's no longer leader, and the leader now is Corne Mulder. Notice how municipalities are trying to rezone agricultural properties to residents with massive development projects. No, I haven't seen that, but I'm not surprised. As per STD Kitchens, saying Africa is not for sissies. What? Opposition seen as treason by people who aren't legitimate governments, just like people who criminalize the word that begins with a K are cowards and communists. Only cowards and communists criminalize speech. No, I didn't know that South African companies enrich uranium. To what end? You only need 5% in order to get nuclear power. Why would you enrich uranium? Well, thousands of white South Africans may indeed live like that in South Africa, Gordon, but many people I personally know who have applied for the refugee program don't live anything remotely like that. His English is good for a Dutchman. Well, he's not Dutch. He's Afrikaans. And Afrikaners are not Dutch. But thank you for sharing that. The FBI is moving 120 agents to D.C. to police the streets of the District of Columbia. And Trump demands homeless people. Yeah, this is the crap we deal with with these leftists who set up these camps illegally in D.C. and they attract rats. I walked through this park right there. That one's in D.C. in 2023. I walked through that slime hole. Bullshit. The D.C. allowed this to happen. This is all when they were doing the Wall Street nonsense. That was back under Obama, and then they did it again here. President Trump has said homeless people must move out of Washington as he vowed to tackle crime in the city, but the mayor pushed back against White House likening the capital to Baghdad. We will give you a place to stay, but far from the capital. Mayor Muriel Bow Wow Bowser, the demon rat, said we're not experiencing a crime spike. Oh, indeed you are. Trump signed an order last month making it easier to arrest homeless people. Homeless have to move out immediately. We will give you places to stay, but far from the capital. The criminals, you don't have to move out. We're going to put you in jail where you belong. Yes, Trump is going to clean up the cesspool that has become the District of Columbia. Our nation's capital is an eyesore. I can send you the letters we're receiving and the development plan. They have been leaked. Yeah, sure. Send me that. You've got the email there. Yeah, when is Julius getting his 20 years? I don't know. Probably not. Sid Kitchen is a late musician. I don't know who that is. Off to the doctor this morning. I have to leave early. My doctor is about 2 hours drive. But good Lord. Been your doctor since 89. Well, I hope so too, Ingrid. You be careful on your drive, okay? You're careful. Yep. NVIDIA is giving an AMD to give the U.S. 15% of the chips, the money they sell to China. What? An unusual arrangement follows NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang's meeting with Trump. NVIDIA and ADM Advanced Micro Devices have agreed to give the Trump administration a portion of the sales from artificial intelligence chips to China. An unusual agreement that deepened the relationship with the U.S. government. The Trump administration will receive 15% of the sales as part of a deal to approve exports of their H20 AI chip to China. This can amount to billions of dollars given demand for the chips and is the latest example of the White House employing novel tactics to raise revenue. They reached the same agreement with AMD for its MI308 chip. The Commerce Department began issuing a license for NVIDIA to send its H20 chip on Friday. Exports of both the H20 and the MI308 were halted in April when trade tensions rose between China and the U.S. Wow, so our government is making 15% of the revenue, not the profit. So if they sell a chip, a microchip for $1,000, that means $150 goes to the federal treasury. Wow. Boy, the Trump administration is trying some novel stuff here. Have a great day, Owens Viking. $700,000 in NISA. Wow. Have you seen the White House shorts on YouTube? Trump is reading a poem, The Snake, with videos of illegals getting... No, I haven't seen that. Is that AI? And why did you delete your message as I was reading it? Or did one of my moderators do that? You delete it. All right, guys, give me an idea for a song. Give me an idea for a song. I put 2 up tonight. I would like to do another one. If you guys got an idea for a song, any ideas for a song? Usually get good ideas from my crowd. My peeps, give me good ideas. Anybody got something good? All right. Okay, let me check in on the WNBA and see how Indiana Fever are doing. They're 18-14. They played Dallas Tuesday. Okay, I wonder what that's going to be. Is it going to be on TV? Can I watch it? It's on ESPN, so I could watch that, but I don't think that she's going to be back. Still waiting for Caitlin Clark to come back. A lot of speculation when she'll be back. Short from White House account. Sorry, spelling mistake. Okay, that's all right, Philip. Thanks. Song for the people staying behind. I've created those songs, Husky. There's 3 or 4 songs dedicated to Afrikaners, Boers, and South Africans staying in South Africa. Something new. Rules for thee, but not for me. That's a good one. There you go. Let's do that. Rules for thee, but not for me. Let's do that. All right. We're not going to do disco. We'll do... Let me check on something here very quickly. What about ska? me see. Is that still a? Is that a ska? Yeah, let's try that. Let's try ska. Okay, we'll do that. As a ska. We'll do male vocals because it's always better for reggae. Alrighty, rules for thee, but not for me. Try ska as a new one here. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Karen's leaving. You gonna deal with a spider bite? Why would you drink decaffeinated coffee? What's the point? That's like drinking black coffee. Ugh, it's just gross. I don't understand people drink black coffee. Ugh. CBP has a short on their account with a song. I get this feeling somebody's watching me. Oh, yeah, it's Rockwell. I always feel like somebody's watching me. Rockwell, his one hit. That was a great one. No elite control. Let's see how this sounds. I'm trying a new genre. The DA reminds you of Paris Hilton's Chihuahua. That's good.
Rules for thee, but not for me, they preach. Golden towers so high we can't reach. They tax our dreams, they steal our time, while they sip champagne on borrowed dimes. We don't need no elite control. Take your power plays and let us roll. Leave us be, we'll find our way. Your empire crumbles while we stay. They script our lines, they write our fate.
That's okay, not great. Let's listen to the second one. This sounds like a Ricky Martin approach. Sounds like Ricky Martin.
Rules for thee, but not for me, they preach.
I like this better.
Golden towers so high we can't reach. They tax our dreams, they steal our time, while they sip champagne on borrowed dimes. We don't need no elite control.
This is much better.
Take your power plays and let us roll. Leave us be, we'll find our way. Your empire crumbles while we stay.
This one's
They
good.
script our lines, they write our fate. Tell us what to love, who to hate. Cameras watch, but who's watching them? Freedom's a spark they try
This one I really like.
Take your
Growing up.
power plays and let us roll. Leave us be. We'll find our way. Your empire crumbles while we stay. Enough already, we've had our fill. We're more than pawns, we've got our will. Your castles fall, your mass decay. The people rise, we'll make you pay. We don't need no elite control. Take your power plays and let us roll. Leave us be. We'll find our way. Your empire crumbles while we stay.
Yeah, second one's better. No Elite Control. That's ska. Now that is already uploaded. I've already uploaded it for distribution, and use the original file. Okay, and it's away. So I've uploaded tonight 3 songs: Bot Gone Rogue, which is already distributed, Flight to Freedom, and No Elite Control. There you go, folks. Just popping them up left and right. So I just did that while that was playing. I did a new wave version. Let's see how this sounds. Doesn't really sound like new wave to me.
They sit in towers made of gold. Sip their wine, let the stories unfold. Rules for thee, but not for them. Play the game, the rig condemn. We don't need no elite control. Leave us be, let us own our soul. Enough already, we've paid the toll. No elite control. No elite control. They tax our sweat, they steal our time, tell us what to say, like it's a crime. They chart our paths, they cage our minds, but free.
Okay, that's not bad. Let's try the second version. Shorter.
They sit in towers made of gold. Sip their wine, let the stories unfold. Rules for thee, but not for them. Play the game, the rig condemn. We don't need no elite control. Let us be, let us own our soul.
No Elite Control. That one's all right. Not the best songs. The ska was better, I think, the ska version. So anyway, a lot of people leaving. A lot of people leaving. Our water's on the way out again. Geez, sorry to hear that. Love that one the best, says Julie. Okay, cool. You get 2 ads interrupting, throw me out. That's because the AI is not smart enough to realize it. Sorry about that, Katie. But you can go listen to the songs when they're loaded onto DJ Silver Eagle topic here on YouTube or join it on Spotify, okay? All right, that's going to be it. Gideon's still there. Well, I'm going to have to go, folks. So I've got to get some rest, and I've got to do a few things tonight, some housekeeping before I try to schedule this appointment in the morning and see what's going on, okay? All right, so cheers, everybody. Thanks for being here. What's this? It shows a quick quiz today. I don't know what that is. Okay. Thank you all for being here. Have a good night. See you tomorrow. Okay. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for being here.